and don't be like everyone else. Oh, I just want to help people. We all want to help people. Don't pass, you can't apply for that same academic year for that course. Dig deeper. Try and dig deeper. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia George. I recently had a few people pop up through my DMs or comments down on my last, it was a video quite a while ago about my experience in terms of being a social work student at Oxford Brookes and explaining my journey, my process. I graduated last year in 2019. I'm currently working as a social worker for adults team. Today's video, we're going to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to just talk about the process of how to apply, how to get into university. I do a social work degree, how to apply. So right at the beginning, if you're in sixth form in college, understand in the UK, you have to go through UCAS. UCAS, you have to write up a personal statement. Personal statement, you outline why you want to apply for the social work degree. So in my personal statement, at that time, I studied law and sociology, did textiles, but I did a lot of volunteering. So the reason I wanted to become a social worker, I always say to people, it was down to my mum, because I was either social work or I would either study psychology or sociology in university. Ever since I was a child, one thing that I always dreamed about when I became an adult is I just never wanted to be one of those people to sit in an office and just work for other people, to not really make a difference in someone else's life. So the idea of social work really spoke to me. I like being around people, I like helping people, and social work does a lot of those things, as well as being creative. So social work, the way you help people, it's up to you as a practitioner how you do that, obviously within the remits of the law and your profession. It pushes you to be very creative. Every case is different. All the people that you meet, everyone's got their own story, and I found that very fascinating in terms of the idea of becoming a social worker. So I wrote a lot of those things in my personal statement. I worked a lot. So when I was 16, I used to work for Phase 8. I was 16, quite young, and a lot of the customers were around over the age of, I want to say 25, 30 months, and it was my first ever job. So for a 16-year-old in that role, even though it was retail, I could reflect the fact that I had to work with people who were a lot older than me, able to engage with customers who were outside of, I guess, the normal people I would engage with, like my friends from school. So I had to learn how to speak to customers who were a lot older than me. I think it came under like communication, like how would you express like having really good communication skills, and I had loads of little antidotes that I could use. So I put down like my experience with both volunteering and actually working. So personal statement, first step, personal statement, you write that down, and then in the UK you have to put your 5 options of universities that you want to go for. I would advise anyone, not just for social work, if you're going to apply for university, Google, just type in that course and the top universities. That's what I did. So I typed in social work and the top universities for social work, and then I took time, and it wasn't just for the academics, it was for the actual placement opportunities, because social work, as well as it being an academic course, it is a professional degree. So you have to go to placement to get that professional element to become a qualified social worker at the end. So I looked up at all of the universities, I believe it was like a top 10, and read up the different, how to split up the years and what different placement opportunities that they gave, the percentage of graduate jobs. So the percentage in terms of those who graduate from the course, how many of them actually get a job before they even graduate and after they graduate. So it's good to know then, because not saying that everyone that graduated from social work became a social worker, but it's good to know how helpful the university is in terms of a vehicle of pointing you to the right direction, the right councils, the right contacts to get you the social work jobs that you want to get. So once I did that, that's how I picked my top 5. Now for the top 5 universities, work university interviews tend to be the same. So there's 3 stages to an interview. So the individual interview, so one-on-one. The group interview, so you're with other candidates who are also trying to get into the course. It tends to be like they put you in a group of people. They have a few lecturers dotted around the room, and they have your name, and then they bring up a topic and they ask you to discuss it. So they ask you to discuss the topic, and then they watch you like that, they assess you like that, and then there's a written element. So written element tends to be comprehension. So you either read something and questions and write, or they will show you a video, and then they will give you questions, and then you write up in that way. So that's the 3 elements to the social work interviewing process for universities within the UK. Also, I would like to say, when they speak to you on a one-on-one, they tend to want to know why you picked social work. And don't be like everyone else, oh, I just want to help people. We all want to help people, but why? Try and dig deeper. I social work. So with mine, just like I explained early on, because like ever since I was a child, I kind of felt like I wanted to give back to society. I'm a very active person. I like people, and I want to feel like I've made a difference. At the end of the day, whatever work I've done, I've made a difference, at least in someone's life. So they will also ask you, think that you're a social worker, and then they'll give you a scenario and how you address that scenario. I know it sounds scary because you're like, well, I'm not a social worker, I don't know what to do. Why would they ask me that? I don't know, but they will think, okay, say you're the social worker, the professional in this scenario, how would you address it? Sometimes it tends to be if how to deal with someone who can be quite difficult and doesn't want to share information, and also how to deal with stress and anxiety, because social work is very stressful. What do you do to de-stress? They'll ask you those type of things also. So they do tend to want to hear that you speak to someone, that you're unafraid to be honest and say, if you don't know something, you'll be the person to be like, I don't know something. You ask your supervisor. That's why supervision is there for, and you speak to management or speak to whoever is the liaison of in terms of looking after you at that department for advice. They want to hear that in terms of de-stressing all human beings. So if you say that, oh, I would read a book, they want to hear genuine things. How would you deal with that stress? Is it running? Is it swimming? Is it taking a walk? Is it taking multiple breaks? Is it baking? You let them know. It might sound really, really silly, but they want to know these things as well. So I just wanted to add that as well to, in terms of the type of questions they'll ask in the interviewing process. I also want to say that's the usual process, but my experience with St. Nottingham University, they did the 2-step before the 1, so it was even more difficult to get onto that course. So they did the group interview and they did the written element. If you pass those 2, then you'll be called back again to do the one-to-one interview. Even at that stage, they could still say, I'm sorry, but you've not been accepted. So some universities could do similar to Nottingham, and it could be more lengthy in terms of the interviewing process, but that's how it goes. If you don't pass, you can't apply for that same academic year for that course, or social work, obviously. For instance, with clearing, if I still wanted to do social work, I would have to, and I didn't get accepted for all 5 the original universities I picked, I would have to pick different universities to get onto that course. Okay, so that's it. So if you passed and they said, yeah, we want you, it's happy days, love. It's happy days. But that'll be the end. I hope that I don't want to talk too long, but that is the broken down process of UCAS, what a little information about in terms of what they're looking for in the personal statements, and the breakdown of the interview process, UK universities, the social work degree. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. I will put a link of my old video where I referred to, like, I was part of the university, I believe it was like a promo for those who wanted to do social work at Oxford Brookes University. I'll put a link there and the original video so you guys can look at it. We're not sponsored, this video is not sponsored by Oxford Brookes, but it was the university that I went to, very good uni. So I'll put that link down below. In the next video we're gonna expand on, okay, you've been accepted university, what does the 3 years look like, how is it broken down, what is placement, how many days, all those questions we're gonna unpack in the next video. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been really helpful. I hope to see you next time. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.